2. Oh, it's recording. This was fun. Happy Friday, Ripple Effect. Kelly, thank you for joining us. You can't see her face, but Dawn is the phone picture below. Hey, Dawn.
Hello.
Hello. So since Super Saturday was last week, we kind of wanted to touch base and talk about that a little bit this week. I was hoping our birthday girls would be on. We have 3 birthdays this month, but apparently they're very busy with their birthdays, so that's okay. Kelly, thanks for joining us. So Super Saturday, Dawn wasn't able to make it to one. She actually had a very important Toastmasters meeting that she needed to be at, so we understand. And Kelly didn't make it to one. We know she's a busy girl with kids and a busy schedule, but I did manage to make it to one. And Dawn and Kelly have both been to Super Saturdays, so they understand the importance of it. They've also been to Summit, so obviously we understand events are important, and we're here on the team call. They're all important events. So today I just want to talk, Dawn and I talked about how we kind of need to discuss the importance of Super Saturday because there's a lot of good reasons to get to them. And Kelly, I don't know if you watched the video I popped in the group.
I haven't yet, but I saved it.
So this is perfect. One of the reasons it's good to get to Super Saturday is if you miss it and you see that, like, you're really not going to watch the replay video. It's just like the surges. Either you get on it or you don't watch it. Let's be honest. There aren't just announcements at Super Saturday. I know in our team we're really good about knowing about announcements, mostly because Dawn hooks us up. And every time there's a new announcement, she gives it to us. She's on it like that. But if you aren't up with announcements, it's good to get to Super Saturday because they're going to give them to you. But that's not all that's there. Just in that video alone, they had 2 super cool coach trainings. One was a training and one was a success story. And in the training, Brittany Leggett gave some awesome nuggets, like really good nuggets. I am going to steal one, and I know everyone that was at my Super Saturday is going to steal the same one. And there was a really great coach story in there. And it's the kind of coach story that you need to figure out how to share with your people because the girl had crazy success right out of the gate. She doesn't look like your typical coach. She's not a size 2. She's not a brick house. So these Super Saturday things are important, but it's not just the video. That's one small part of it. They say that you are like the 5 people, the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. When you get to a Super Saturday, you're surrounded by these coaches who have the same mindset, the same goals. Some have had some super crazy successes, and they're willing to share them with you. And when you get around those coaches, you leave with a fire for your business. And even though my Super Saturday was super small this time, I still left with the same fire as a giant one I had been to in Denver, where there were hundreds of coaches. Same fire, because it's just being around those people. Dawn, tell me about your Super Saturdays.
Okay, well, I also wanted to just reiterate, one of the reasons that Christina and I really wanted to focus on this was, in a sense, I totally feel like I dropped the ball on expressing the importance of it because I knew I couldn't go. And it's really hard to, tell you guys you need to be there if I couldn't be there. And so that's one of the reasons we want to reiterate it. If you want to do anything in your business, you need to get to live events for the reasons that Christine's already shared. And my Super Saturday was super small. And I told Christine I had a really hard time sharing and telling people they need to go because so many other coaches, like with Taryn goes to a bigger one. And so she's telling people it's kind of like a mini summit and you get all this excitement and energy. And to me, that's not how mine is. And so I felt like if I shared that with people, if they went to a smaller one, they would leave disappointed because they had it built up different. And after talking to Christine, we realized, no, it's the same fire, like she just said. It just looks different. And so the Super Saturdays that I've gone to here are really tiny right now. However, the guy that runs ours is in the Million Club. He's made over $1 million in commissions in Beachbody. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to get there. And like Christine said, we're the average of the people we spend the most time with. Well, guess what? If there's only 10 people at that event, I'm spending a whole heck of a lot of time with this guy. And I'm getting to know him more one-on-one. And because he's been so successful and because he's an awesome guy, he's willing to help me out even though I'm not directly on his team. He's offered to meet up for lunch. He's offered to meet up with prospects with me if I want him to help talk about the business. So it's just an incredible opportunity, even at a small one. Now, I'm not saying that you guys are all going to have $1 million, dollar earner, but you're going to be surrounded by people that are leading in some way in their business. And to be around those people is awesome. It's also, if you're in a smaller market, a chance to step up and become a leader within that market. Ours is super small, and finally Jay reached out and was like, hey, this is ridiculous that we are so small. We need to build this up. I need leaders that are willing to help me. And so what better way to build a team than to lead a Super Saturday or help lead a Super Saturday? This way, when you have prospects that you're inviting to this cool event, it's an event that you're helping put on. Like, that gives you instant credibility to somebody that knows nothing about the business. So anyway, was that helpful at all?
Yes, and if you could see Kelly's in my faces that we're nodding and we're thumbs upping and we're totally, and you're totally right. Stepping up and taking a leadership role in Super Saturday is huge, huge. So did you hear me say children zip it, or could you just tell that I yelled children zip it? Okay. Yeah, no, Dawn basically nailed it. I mean, it's just about, we talk a lot about how, Beachbody is one big team and we're not in competition with one another. But sometimes when we're behind a screen and we start seeing other coaches pop up in our area, it starts to feel a little competitive. But when you get in that room and everyone's just really excited to share what works for them, it doesn't feel competitive. It does feel like one big team, and we are one big team. And when we're all doing well, it looks good for everyone. So I feel like, getting to those events are huge. I mean, Summit's all of us, all together in one place, and we're not competitive. We're really excited to see each other. So here's the thing about Super Saturday. You can host one. If you've ever reached Emerald rank, you can host one. You can find one in the Coach Online office. They happen 4 times a year. They're quarterly. And there's usually a live workout. So if you have a prospect, these events are smart. So they load you up with all the exciting success stories and then the new programs and all the announcements and the fun stuff, but you're sitting. But these people are starting to see like, oh, I can make money with this. Oh, wow, that chick made $1,300 in her first week. What? That's in that story. I'm just telling you, crazy. And they start to get excited, and then you finish with a workout, and you're all sweating together, and you're having fun, and you know how it is when you sweat together. You build a relationship. You're instantly bonded. So it's a great way to get those warm prospects that just aren't sure there and in it and excited. Or if you have coaches that have kind of fallen off the wagon and they aren't working the business anymore, it reignites that fire. One of the coaches here, not mine, but she belongs to someone else. She left Super Saturday ready to work her business, and she's never wanted to work her business. But because she came, she saw she's ready to conquer. Kelly, you've been to, go ahead, Dawn.
I was going to say also, we just highlighted, obviously benefits of the smaller one. But if you're near a bigger market, holy cow, what awesome energy. And those bigger markets will bring in somebody big from corporate or one of the super trainers. I mean, Joel and Jericho from Core to Force were at 8 cities over the weekend. So they were at 8 different Super Saturdays. Autumn was at a couple different ones. Big E, I don't know if he was at any this time around, but he goes to a bunch. So if you are near a larger market, definitely don't discount those either, because you're going to get that summit atmosphere. And holy cow, what a great opportunity to bring somebody to be like, dude, this guy that I've only seen on video, you can work out with live. Like, how fun. All right, sorry. Keep going, yo.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to, Kelly, what were your takeaways to the Super Saturday you were able to attend?
Oh man, well, it's been a while ago, but it was, like you said, it was that team atmosphere, and it didn't matter that that Kara wasn't on our team, but we still were able to get the information and exercise together. That was super fun. Like to watch you instruct. Oh my gosh. And that bonding type, and then just the energy that you take away. You can't pin all of that on Summit because that's only once a year. You really do need the quarterly stuff and even these weekly calls where you get, it's just like from a spiritual standpoint, the fellowship and going to church, and you have to have your cup filled. And it can't just be once in a while. It needs to be often because things take away from us all the time. Life takes away from us. You've got family, jobs, everything that can pull you in all different directions. So having the time to focus and, rethink your goals and everything, and you've got to do it more often than once a year.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Nailed it. You could have summed up the whole call into what you just said there. Exactly perfect.
Cool.
And I can actually, there's a perfect example. I saw a coach not in our team, not in our organization, kind of have a temper tantrum on her Facebook this week because this time of year is frustrating. People don't want to do programs. People don't want to work out. It's November. Those of us who aren't in this industry kind of think it's weird to start programs right now. And so we need to make sure we're diligent about checking in with our team and being with those of us who are like-minded, so we aren't tempted to say, forget it. Thanksgiving's coming. Forget it. I don't need to work my business right now. Just forget it. If we come back in here and, like you said, Kelly, refill our cup with our goals and our vision, it's way better, because otherwise we lose it. We lose the steam. We lose the desire. And stuff like this helps make us want to invite. And that's the big thing. We have to always be wanting to invite. And if we're not getting back in doing personal development, meeting with the team, going to events, what are we inviting for? It's really hard to tell yourself to invite. So,
right. Well, and it's also, you're hearing from corporate, and it's awesome to reconnect with our visions and our goals all the time, and the visions and goals of our teammates. But it's so important that we're connected to the visions and goals of Beachbody and their mission and their vision, because that's what we're all about. And when you're at a Super Saturday, yes, we're connecting with each other, but we're connecting to Beachbody, which is so important in sharing what we do. And I guarantee that chick that went berserko on Facebook Live didn't go to a Super Saturday last week, because if she did, she would have had a whole different mindset and would have known better than, even if she didn't have a different mindset, she would have, had the wherewithal to not go live and just, spill stuff about feeling defeated, because she wouldn't have felt defeated, because she would have been reconnected to why it is that we do what we do. And that's another important piece is it's about, the bigger mission and vision that we want to make sure we're also connected to.
Absolutely. And I think you make a good point. Every surge, every national wake-up call, every quarterly Super Saturday, and every summit, we are repeating that our job is to help people lead healthy and fulfilling lives, and we help them reach their goals. It's about their goals. And it's such a good, solid reminder that this opportunity is for anyone. Everyone needs to be healthy, and everyone needs money. So this opportunity is for everyone. And as long as we're constantly being reminded that and filling our brains with that, it's a lot easier to offer this opportunity to everybody, to the people on our chicken list, to the people that have said no, because we know everyone needs to be healthy and everyone needs money, and we have the way to do it, and we're willing to work on their time frame, their schedule, with their goals. And that's why I freaking love this company so much. All the love. That's okay. That's what we're doing.
Did you want to share a couple of the takeaways?
Mm-hmm. So I will. I don't want this to mean that you don't watch the video, because you need to. But I had two big takeaways, and one was the Brittany Leggett. She does a Flash Friday when her challenge groups get quiet. And on this Flash Friday, she offers them a prize. Like, she draws. One of them gets a prize. But what they do is they share either a bonus workout thing, like 10 squats or whatever, or they share a picture, and I love this, of them setting out their workout clothes for Saturday and when they're going to work out. And I love that Flash Friday. And then the next day she'll pick someone and that person gets a prize. If you have a dead challenge group, instead of saying, don't forget your points, you can say, no, I have a carrot for you right here. I have a prize right here. So I thought that was really cool. And she had some other great nuggets, so make sure you watch it. My second takeaway was from, and I can't remember her name, but the success story. And she said, and I quote, I finally saw the business opportunity, so I went home, I called my coach, and I said, I'll do exactly what you tell me to do. And then she made $1,300 in her first week. She did exactly what I have never done exactly what, be honest, I've never done exactly what Taryn says. I've never really asked for 5 sales in a day. I've never really reached out. Like, I've never totally done exactly what I was told to do. And I think if I get out of my own way and stop being chicken and start really just doing it, we would see those numbers. I mean, Beachbody's not going to promise us that, but if I really just did exactly what Taryn told me to do, I could probably have those numbers. And my last final takeaway, and I kind of said it, but I want to say it again, is I was the only one from my team there, and I was still embraced and loved. And we built this camaraderie, and now we're talking about doing like like a marketing and impact academy or something with Shalene as an area. Not so much about our team, but as an area, and really building as a group, because it's one big team. It's Team Beachbody, not Bombshell Dynasty Beachbody and Team Fitfluence Beachbody and Elite Stronghold Beachbody. It's Team Beachbody. We're, at the end of the day, we really are all on the same team. And if we're supporting each other and helping each other, it's going to work, because people are going to work with who they want to work with. So those are my takeaways. Dawn?
Well, and it's awesome, like you said, you were the only one from your team there. I mean, shoot, we've got Yvonne is out in Korea. We've got people all over the country who don't have anybody else on our immediate team near them. And so you can feel, even though we Zoom and even though we have Facebook and social media, you can feel connected only to a point. And so when you get to that live event, it's like you're part of a big team and you get to feel loved and be loved. And so that's, it's super huge, especially if you are in one of those more remote places, or maybe you're not in a remote place, but you just don't have anybody on our immediate team in your area. Like, what a great chance to still be embraced and embrace, this whole Beachbody mission and values. I was going to say spirit, but, Dawn and Team Spirit sound weird together. But my big takeaways were, the same kind of thing that Taryn's been talking about that's really been pushed with this core to force is, as coaches, we need to be setting the example. We need to be taking the lead. If we have challenge groups that are quiet, we need to look at ourselves and figure out, are we not engaged? Are we not being engaging? Yes, there's going to be people that fall off at different times, and that Flash Friday stuff is awesome to bring people back in. But we need to make sure that we're connecting with our people and we're being challengers first. And that leads right into the coach success story. And I think it was $1,300 in a month, not a week, but I could be wrong. But regardless, I wouldn't mind $1,300.
It was a week. Was it a week?
Okay, I'll believe you. I thought she said the first month, but that was a couple days ago. So that's fine.
I mean, it might have been, but I
Regardless.
think she said in her first week. Either way, that's just money.
$1,300. But it feeds into the same idea. As coaches, how frustrated do we get when we have a challenger that comes to us and says, this just isn't working, this isn't for me. And then you say, have you opened the meal plan? Have you looked at your nutrition guide? Have you followed the calendar? And they say, well, I do a couple workouts sometimes. Well, I follow the nutrition plan, during the week, but on the weekends, I drink and I have pizza. And then you look at them and you say, you wonder why you're not getting results. It's the same thing as a coach. If you're a coach and you come to Christine or I, or when Christine and I go to our mentor and we go to Taryn and we say, this just isn't working. And then she'll look at us lovingly, well, who have you reached out to this week? And it's like, well, nobody. And you wonder why it's not working. It's the same idea. And it's exactly what Christine says. Like, we know what it is we need to do. It's time to start doing it. And if you truly don't know what it is you need to do, but you want this business to work, you out. The girl in her success story, she did what her coach told her, and then she went and figured out everything else on her own. She went and found what she needed to find as far as inspiration, as far as motivation, as far as her personal goal setting. The coach told her what to do, and then she went and did it, and then supplemented the rest of her learning on her own. She wasn't hand-carried through everything just because when she said her coach told her what to do. And so I think those are like the biggest things I take away, and the biggest reminder for me as I wake up on Thursday mornings, the last couple of Thursdays, and I whine to Christine, like I had a really rough week again. And the same thing, okay, who have we reached out to? Who have we truly invited? I crushed the heck out of 3 of the 4 vital behaviors, but we need to be doing all 4. Just like our challengers in our program. We can't just do our workouts and drink our water and drink our shake. We need to do all of it. We need to include the nutrition plan, the eating plan. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Perfect.
It's so weird not seeing you because you usually give me like the cut off wink, like stop talking wink.
No, there's no wink.
I'm just playing.
I mean,
I'm playing.
You make good points, and it's something for us to remember because you nailed it. We know when those challengers say, well, I haven't been doing this and I haven't been doing that and this doesn't work for me. And you're like, well, no, it's not going to work because you're not doing it. And it's the same thing as coaches. Well, I haven't been following up. I haven't been reaching out. I haven't been adding new contacts. Well, no, it's not going to work for you. So, and it doesn't mean that we have to be perfect, and it doesn't mean that we can't fix it. It just means it's good to acknowledge it and move forward. And it always starts with personal development, and that is one of my weakest areas, worse than inviting, I think, even. So Dawn is holding me accountable with that, and that's the other thing. Find someone to hold you accountable, even if it's not a success partner, if it's just someone in the team, if it's just your upline. Find someone to hold you accountable for getting to events, doing your inviting, doing your personal development, doing your recognition, doing your following up, doing your product of the product. Find someone to keep you accountable, because if you're not keeping yourself accountable, I bet you'll be accountable to somebody else. Most of us are. So Kelly, if you have anything to add, and I love this, Dawn, I wish you could see it, and I just want to point this out for anyone that's watching. You can do this job and do other things. Kelly's like doing her hair and doing the dishes, and she's got stuff to do. She's a busy mom, but she's making it work, and I love that. Dawn's driving somewhere. I'm just sitting here doing nothing. But I mean, you can make this work if you really want to. So I love what's happening here. Kelly, anything to add before I wrap this baby up?
I don't think so.
Great. Well, very cool. Dawn and I don't remember. We don't know what we're talking about next week. We're going to talk about something. And we want you.
But I do want to point out, I'm pretty sure they already put out the date of next Super Saturday.
Yes, it's out there.
Did they not?
It is, but it's out there.
Yeah, so I think that our call to action for everybody out there is you need to mark it on your calendar, and I want you to screenshot it in the comments when this is posted, that it's at least on your calendar.
And just a little hint, it's always the last Saturday of the month. Every 4 months, last Saturday of the month. I mean, it's pretty easy, but yes, they probably have it out there. So they probably don't have your actual registered. No, not yet.
They won't. They won't have those so
right. They won't have your registered event up there, but you can look in the office or your calendar. It'll be January, and find what Saturday it is and circle it, and make sure you already have that day kind of held, if you will. Have a placeholder on that day. Kelly, especially you, if you and that coach are running it, you kind of want to start planning like now.
Yeah.
For sure. Awesome. And Dawn's going to be planning with her millionaire buddy, and Kara and I are doing it here. So honestly, all 3 of us need to make sure that we're preparing for that. Cool? So I like that call to action, Dawn. We're going to screenshot the next Super Saturday and plop it in the comments. Very good. Love it. Yeah. All right, ladies. Kelly, have a good rest of your morning. Dawn, drive safely.
Word, will do.
All right, we'll see you all next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Word. I'm fist bumping.
Fist bumping. All right, bye, guys.